Well, Hikmet Hajiyev joins us now live from Baku. He is an assistant to the president of the Republic of Azerbaijan. Thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it. I need you first to clarify actually what started this clash between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the weekend.
Thank you. And actually, yesterday, Armenian armed forces in the border area between Armenia and Azerbaijan committed yet another provocation by using artillery. They shelled outposts of Azerbaijani armed forces in the border area, as a result of which Azerbaijani soldiers and officers, and 4 of them have been killed and 5 others have been wounded. It was a deliberate provocation by Armenian armed forces on the border area of 2 countries. And Armenian government bears a direct responsibility for this action. And Azerbaijani armed forces were obliged to take counter measures to stop such a provocation of Armenia. It's an act of aggression, it's an act of use of force, and it's a deliberate military provocation by armed forces of Armenia.
Okay, so you are defining this as a military aggression, and what's so disturbing is that this for decades was considered a frozen conflict because there was no real military aggression for so many years. But in the past years, and particularly since 2016, there has been a level of armed conflict. Must there now be aggressive negotiation in order to resolve the issues between Armenia and Azerbaijan, mainly Nagorno-karabakh?
That's a call of Azerbaijani government and Azerbaijani people in general to the international community. On many occasions and on a constant basis, we always say that there should be very effective measures and an effective negotiation process to resolve the conflict. Along with the occupation of Azerbaijan's Nagorno-Karabakh region and 7 adjacent regions, and ethnic cleansing policy that have been perpetrated against the Azerbaijani civilians, and Armenia committed yet another provocation in the border area of 2 countries. It once again shows that Armenia's impunity for its aggressive actions encourages Armenia for further military adventures and military provocations. And therefore, international community, and particularly OSCE Minsk Group co-chair countries, should redouble their actions, seriously engage with the resolution of the conflict. The core fundamental issue is, of course, occupation of Azerbaijani territories. Along with the occupation, Armenia now tries to create yet another source of conflict in the region on the border of 2 countries, and it's yet another irresponsible action by Armenian side to undermine regional peace and security, and already fragile regional peace and security. Therefore, now serious engagement and serious actions should be taken for resolution of the conflict. And for the resolution of the conflict, we have already identified legal and political basis for resolution of the conflict by the international community. That's also based on the United Nations Security Council resolutions, and 4 resolutions demand immediate, unconditional, and full withdrawal of Armenian troops from the occupied territories. But Armenia, as a country bearing responsibility for aggressive actions against Azerbaijan, refuses to implement the demands of UN Security Council resolutions. And Azerbaijani IDPs are suffering and they also can't exercise their inalienable right to return back to their territories. But returning back to this aggressive act on the border of Azerbaijan, we seriously and strongly condemn this action. And also we call in the international community to seriously assess actions of Armenia, particularly in the period of COVID. International community fights against COVID. Armenian government engaged with such kind of irresponsible action.
Okay.
And we also see that it's a policy of Armenian government to deflect internal attention and also direct anger of Armenian society towards Azerbaijan, and using such military provocations.
Right. But as you call for the international community to take action, there, of course, needs to be the negotiation process that your president has criticized very heavily, almost withdrawn from, because he feels the parties involved aren't impartial enough. So tell us, who would be a fair mediator in this case? Whom would you like to see come to the table so that negotiations are carried out in a way that Azerbaijan feels is just?
And actually, my president, and openly, in a just way, in a fair way, assessed the work of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs in general, and with an institution that brings together 3 permanent members of the UN Security Council. And they have also a mandate, and their mandate is based on the UN Security Council resolutions and Helsinki Final Act. and real actions, that's expected from the co-chairs, that shouldn't be like only carrying the messages between the parties. And it should be like implementing the core fundamental frameworks of the negotiation process. And Minsk Group, conducts different sorts of the meetings, but it's enough to have meetings just for the sake of the meetings. It's not Azerbaijan is really disappointed or frustrated, even I would say, to have a negotiation just for the sake of negotiations. It's a facade for Armenia. It's a facade and comfort zone for Armenia to hide themselves behind under the framework of such negotiations, and then continue occupation of Azerbaijani territories, and also consolidate and maintain status quo of occupation, and also conduct such kind of irresponsible behavior and provocations. Okay. Therefore, now co-chairs should seriously engage, and Azerbaijan's expectation is that, first of all, co-chair countries and also all international community should take actions, and all other members of the Minsk Group process that involves 11 countries should seriously be engaged in the negotiation process.
Okay, Hikmet Hajiyev, thank you so much for joining us there from Baku. We appreciate it.